Okay, so I just had a really important lesson with the young group, and I actually somehow just fell into the class and started asking questions about, like, and it was funny because they were already talking about sex and gender when I walked in, or clicked in, whatever, and so I just like asked the question that I've been wanting to ask Rob, or that it was suggested to me that I ask Rob, and basically, I don't remember everything that was said because there was a series of questions that I was surprised they kept choosing my questions to answer. Like, I don't know, I am grateful, but at the same time, kind of angry because now I'm stuck. Basically, this comes down to, are my decisions for the goal? If I were to transition into a man, that would deter me from being able to um, participate in conventions, basically, because I would not. My essence is always going to be female. I'm never going to feel like a man, so if I looked like a man, I wouldn't be able to sit with the men. I'd basically be exempt from the convention, and I'd be there, but I wouldn't be able to participate, basically. And the workshop is the gut of advancement. It's where you try to connect with your friends. And I really struggle with that. I've tried. It's been a while since I've been in a workshop, but the last time I tried, um, it was really hard. It just seemed like everyone else was much easier, had an easier time at supporting one another and listening and being a friend. And I'm actually completely right now struggling with friendship altogether. Like, I'm wondering um, if at this time in my life I'm just not meant to have much social interaction, or like my therapist was telling me, challenging me to start talking to people more. And honestly, I really don't even know how to do this. She told me that I should at least try to talk to the friends I used to have, or I used to spend a lot of time with. And so yeah. And I also had gender therapy today. So my brain feels like there's, I feel like there's a fork in the road and I have to go one way or the other. And one way is that I would have a really fantastic corporeal life, and I would be a male. I'd represent as a male persona, and I would connect with the friends virtually as much as I can, and I'd go to workshops and everything, and that would be my life. And I would be spending a lot of time on the internet with the friends, and I'd connect as many ways as I could. But if I remained a female, I could go to conventions, and it's not much of a priority to me now to save up for conventions. I have too many other things that require, it's not like I'm choosing to like pay one thing and pay another and save for one thing and another, but I there's no room for conventions in my life right now, especially because I have really poor social skills and I'm working on, and I can't even connect with one person. Like, I'm relying so much on the friends for support that I cannot give that support to them, and I'm wondering if maybe in a few years this will change. And like, so basically what this is telling me is that I have to have a lot of patience. It's going to be years. I don't know. The last time I said things were gonna be years, last time I told myself it was gonna take years for me to get here, that was 6 months ago. So really, it could take any amount of time. Anyway, I'm just really confused because today I was all set, feeling very comfortable and calling myself transgender, and really exploring these things. And I walked past a group of guys my age, and I felt like uncomfortable. I knew they were just a bunch of guys hanging out at the park, I'm like, oh, they must be smoking weed, because that's what I would do with my group of friends, but they didn't appear to be smoking weed or high, so not that I would know. I mean, I never looked high when I was high, but I really, like, they were just hanging out as guys, being guys, and part of me really wants to have that, or I don't know. I really don't, because also in the lesson today I learned that we are only ever shown, the creator is talking to us, right? The creator's only ever in dialogue with us, and it's our responsibility to try to figure out what exactly he's saying, and he's always talking to us, always showing us what we need to know. And I'm just wondering why he showed me that. But it's not really my job to understand why. It's just steps, you know, and it's just really frustrating that I have to wait longer to figure out if I'm going to make this transition, because I'm spending money on a gender therapist, and I have a feeling I'm going to continue to spend money on a gender therapist until at least I'm at a point where I can choose to or not take testosterone. And also, I'm going to make it a priority to, because I have this great job as a massage therapist, I'm going to see if I could trade services with a personal trainer, someone who can help me bodybuild and get rid of these skinny twink shoulders, so I can bulk up. And because my hips, I never really noticed how wide my hips were until I started wearing men's pants. I always used to wear like horrible baggy women's clothing that never fit right, and like nothing ever seemed to fit me right. Anyway, but ever since I've taken on more wearing the clothes that I wanted, and wanting to look like a boy, I realized that my hips are wide. I'm like, when did that happen? So I really want to broaden my shoulders and maybe do some yoga, and my therapist is also having me practice mindfulness so I can handle stressful situations. There's just so freaking much going on right now, and now that these instructors like turn the wheel for me, and it's like, great, now I have to choose between spirituality and a happy corporeal life. And on one hand you're like, oh, don't the two go hand in hand? On the other hand you're like, no, because if you're exerting yourself for the work, for the friends, which is something I can't seem to do now, in this moment in time, I can't seem to do that now. Yeah, so either you're always going to have to embrace the struggle anyway, so I don't know. How long am I going to keep this up? How long am I going to be studying Kabbalah? How long am I going to be transgender? I thought I was going to do both for the rest of my life, but apparently I have to choose one, and I really feel uncomfortable being put on the spot, and but I guess the creator likes that. He likes when I rack my brain, and he likes putting these discernments in me, even though they're not true discernments. I have not crossed the Maxon, definitely. I can barely, like I said, I can barely communicate normally. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. It has been a horribly confusing or wonderfully enlightening night, however you really want to look at that. And anyway, I feel basically like I'm driving through the mountains on a curvy road. Like I just keep making these wheel steering references. But yeah, so I'll probably make another video next time I have another breakthrough or breakdown or movement. Anyway, this frustration only means I'm growing. So thanks for watching.